of you.
There's an avalanche of new customers piling into Crystal Nail Salon in Chicago.
I didn't expect that much. I expect probably maybe 1,000 or so.
Instead, owner Fu Boy sold more than 5,100 $28 manicure pedicure deals in one day.
Pretty much they balanced out my income for the first year.
It was an amazing day for Boy and his 4-month-old business. His secret? Advertising with Groupon.com, a website that gives individuals group buying power with small businesses. The deal was such a great success that it overwhelmed Boy's business and customer patience.
I think at some point, sometimes maybe the companies have to realize when they're getting overbooked and consider that as well.
I have tried to accommodate everyone. I try to fit everyone in by the schedule, not try to say yes or take everyone in at once. I just have to say no to some clients.
CEO Andrew Mason created Groupon in November of 2008, and the growing success of the company has created an unimaginable problem in a struggling economy. What do you do when you have too many customers?
I remember in Boston, maybe 6 months ago or so, we sold 5,000 Groupons for a mani-pedi place, and we had customers that couldn't get an appointment for 6 months. And that was kind of the first thing that happened when we realized, wow, we need to, it's not good for something like this to happen.
Crystal Nail Salon had an average rating of 4 stars on the business review website Yelp before the Groupon deal. Afterwards, that average fell to only 2.5 stars. And Groupon believes it has a cure for the customer crush syndrome. And that cure is expansion.
Right now, we're in your city. Soon we'll be in your neighborhood. And it'll allow us to control the number of people that are seeing a deal such that there will never be too many customers that a business can handle.
Before the deal starts, Groupon works with each business to set a sales limit, but in this case, the salon chose not to set one.
They kind of have this one opportunity to enhance an experience for a customer, and if they fail, then, you might not be coming back.
Business owners like Boy are trying to find a balance between painting their bottom line and getting repeat business from Groupon's success.
Mary and Emma, you're next.
Mark Carlson, The Associated Press, Chicago.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about the Groupon do's and don'ts. They got this fancy pants thing called Groupon, which I'm sure you've heard of, but if you haven't, it's basically just a coupon website, and most people are accessing it via their smartphone, aka iPhone, Android, BlackBerry, etc. And it's just local bargains in your city, and tons of people are using it, and it can literally drive 1,000 people overnight. But it can also lose you a lot of money. So we're going to be talking about what no one is telling us about Groupon. So what you're going to learn in this section is why actually most Groupon owners lose money, not just in the short term, but in the long term as well. And obviously we want you to avoid this. Of course, we're going to talk about what products or services make the most sense to sell through Groupon, because that'll make your whole sales process and marketing a lot easier, because if you know what to pitch, it becomes easier. We're going to talk about how to recuperate your front-end loss, so you're not, because you are going to lose money no matter how you splice it on the front end, but you can structure it in such a way that this isn't that big of a deal. And we're going to be talking about using Groupon to complement your existing marketing, adding to rather than taking away the cool stuff that you do. And of course, the real danger with Groupon is you can get some of these deadbeat customers, the career deal shoppers, right? Where they're just looking for the cheapest on everything and don't really care about any sort of quality, service, value, any of that. You don't want those people because, for obvious reasons. I shouldn't have to explain that. So, Groupon beware. Why do I say that? Well, as mentioned, most Groupon owners lose money. But the big thing, people obviously lose money because they want customers to come back. But the downside is those customers more often than not don't come back. So let's use a restaurant example, because that's probably the most common example. A restaurant has a deal to get 2 dinners for the price of 1. They lose money because restaurants don't have that huge of profit margins in the first place. They lose money on it, and then those people don't come back, and they ultimately never make money off of the Groupon. They just lose even more money. Dangerous. You may attract people only looking for the cheapest price, career deal shoppers. Oh, did I mention you'll probably lose money and not get repeat business out of it? Of course, if you do it wrong, we're going to show you how to avoid that. Nobody tells anybody this, but in fact, a large number of businesses declare bankruptcy immediately after Groupon. And I'm not saying that to scare you. It's just for a lot of these businesses, it's a last-ditch effort when they're screwed, right? And they figure we got to get customers in the door in a hurry, so they run a Groupon. They lose even more money, and it just seals the deal. But of course, losing money and not getting customers is always a bad proposition, right? So we're gonna change that. So what are the benefits of Groupon? Enough scare tactics. Well, literally overnight can bring people by the thousands into your establishment. I've gone, let's just say someone I know is a Groupon junkie. I've gone to restaurants and everybody there has a Groupon. The whole place is packed with Groupon users. It can be the basis for upsells. That's the real benefit, is it can lead into you selling more stuff or bringing people back. So if it's done right, you're going to make a lot of profit and get some really good long-term valuable customers out of it. So let's talk about the easiest way to make Groupon work. Groupon works when it naturally leads into a continuity model. In internet marketing, let me tell you something I discovered. They consider it like the holy grail of internet marketing, which is continuity, which is selling a monthly membership. And the reason is obvious, because people pay you month after month, but it's actually really hard to do. So if you have a business already that is a continuity model, and we're going to be discussing some examples in a second, it's going to work really well for you. So any business can make a continuity model, even if they don't have one now. We're going to talk about how to do that at the end of this. Of course, upsells, upsells, upsells. You got to have more stuff for them to buy. Did I mention upsells? Yeah, I know it's a bit repetitive, but there's a good reason for this, because I want you to ultimately get the end benefit. So let me show you the bad Groupon examples, so you can get an idea what not to do. Here's $10 worth of $20 worth of paint your own pottery at the Paint Pot. That's a lot of P's, by the way. Try and say that. That's a very good tongue twister. I've got a P-pop screen on my mic. Thank God for that, because I would have just popped my microphone 80 times. But the bottom line here is they're selling $20 worth of stuff for $10, and those people probably won't come back. And there's probably very little way for them to come back. And you can see this. This is the typical Groupon layout. Okay, here's another one. Spa, manicure, and pedicure, $39. Normally $100, so you can get the whole pamper yourself thing if you're in that market. And yeah, it's like this could lead into continuity, but chances are they're just going to come, get the manicure, pedicure, and that's it. They'll be gone. Oh, lucky me, I put the same one twice. Here's another one. Hair repair, normally £55. This is an English one. 19 pounds. Of course, once their hair's repaired, that's probably the end of it. Here's another one. $25 for $1,000 cash at closing when buying or selling Dream Townhome Realty. By the way, this should show you how many people are using Groupon. Now, even though it's a lot of restaurants, I've seen plastic surgeons use it, realtors, anybody can use a Groupon. And as you can see, this one has 50 people, so have already purchased that. So people buy this stuff. Here's another bad one, and this is too bad because I love cookies. Like, cookies are my favorite food, and they make me happy. But they've got 2 dozen cookies for $22 delivered to your door. I imagine the delivery is the main expense, normally $45. This could easily lead into continuity, right? Or could be gift baskets and give you a reason to buy more stuff. And this is probably the most common one you're going to see, which is a restaurant, $30 worth of food for $15. That's probably 60% of Groupon. And you can see 1,200 people bought, right? And as a Groupon owner, you can set the limitations, by the way. So if you only want to sell 100 of them, you stop at 100, right? So this person is trying to sell 1,500. So there's 1,500 total. And if you watch my other section, by the way, in 6 Great Things of an Ad, you'll notice it has an attention-grabbing headline. It educates the prospect. It's got a time-limited offer. Groupon has all the elements of great sales. And then, of course, here's another example of a restaurant. $40 worth of appetizers for $20. Pretty standard. Okay, so let's get into the good stuff. Here's a much better example of how you can just easily make money and your business will be set up well. They've got $36 for a 12-week subscription to the Sunday edition of the New York Times. Key word in there, subscription, aka continuity. So when this thing expires, a lot of people are going to renew for the full price, and then so they won't make money off of this 12-week subscription, but they'll probably make money as soon as that expires, almost the moment after. Belly dance classes. Well, who goes for one class? Nobody, right? Almost everybody is going to come back, right? So you can see this one sold 418. I mean, once you take one class, you want to learn the rest of it. So a good number of people are going to come back. So classes are a great thing to do. So why Groupon works? Well, it's targeted local traffic. It's people in your area who want to buy things. It's increased value for the customer, right? The increased value comes in the form of a discounted price, but there's other ways to increase value for the customer. And of course, it's a time-limited offer. You only get 24 hours most times to make up your mind for a Groupon. Like it's valid one day and not the next. I mean, you can claim the Groupon usually for 3 to 6 months after, but buying it, you have less than a day to make up your mind. That pressure alone makes people decide. How do you fix these typical mistakes? Like, what separates these good ads from the bad ones? Well, the first thing is offer a continuity lead-in, and or if that's not an option, you can design upsells on the back end to get your investment back. And anybody can do continuity. I just wanted to show you an example. Like, I had a restaurant friend who sells all-you-can-eat sushi, and we're actually implementing a continuity system right now. And normally restaurants are not continuity, but just for his most regular repeat customers, we simply gave them an option to come in 5 times a month for one set price, right? And the cool thing is, then he gets the steady monthly income and the steady client base. It's already regulars in there now, but it just makes it easier. And as a regular, it's something I would actually want to go for. So any business can be a continuity model. So there's no reason not to. And then, of course, the real key is upsells. Give them other stuff to buy. Don't just let them leave and walk away. So, for example, if you're running a restaurant, instead of just saying, here, try our food, hope you like it, hope you come back, say, by the way, here's more stuff you can buy. Here's another upcoming event we're going to have, and the tickets are only this much, right? So you got to give them a reason to come back. So if you use that and you do this, Groupon is going to be hugely successful for you. So I hope you enjoyed this presentation, because I enjoyed making it for you. So if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to visit us in person, www.modernworkers.com. Take care.